Hello everyone, welcome along to TGP1. We are back. It is season 31 here on F1 2018, a new season, and we are ready to do it all over again. We have the 5 most successful drivers in TGP1 history all racing this season. James, Dan, Ben, Softy and Johners. 18 titles between them, 276 race wins, and for the first time they are all here racing in TGP1. So, the first laps have been set then. The first round of the season is Germany. Currently, Softy is our quickest man, but LMC Hamilton is about to see if he can top him off. Only 2 tenths between at the moment. Sorry, it was Jay Fletcher that we were on board with there, and he has gone quickest. He's taken a tenth off Softy. And the McLaren driver, who is in his first race in TGP1, we'll go through all the drivers in just a moment, takes provisional pole with 6 minutes. But before we get into the drivers, I am joined by Barry, fellow TGP2 driver. Barry, how are you doing?
Good evening, good evening. I'm very well, thank you, very well. Really looking forward to the new season of TGP1. Like you said, 5 of the most successful drivers all racing tonight. A few newbies, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, as you said, lots of new drivers, returning drivers, and the same old faces. So let's go through the drivers. And this season, Softy, who now carries the number 1 on his car, moves to Red Bull. He is joined by Phil. Phil cannot make it tonight, so Softy is on his own for Red Bull. But can he continue his form from last season? Can he go for a 4th driver's title? He's looking to become the first back-to-back champion in TGP1 for 10 seasons. Last driver to do that was James back in season 21. Can Softy do it in season 31? For now, he's a 10th off Jay Fletcher, who has to be regarded as probably his biggest rival going into this season. Softy and Jay should see a good battle between those two. And we already see here, 5 minutes to go already, Jay with the first blood, setting down a benchmark in his first qualifying session in TGP1. Can Softy respond, the reigning champion? Currently a 10th between the two. Softy crosses the line, and he does improve, but only by a couple of hundredths, and remains a 10th behind Jay Fletcher. So, our lineup this season, Softy and Phil at Red Bull, Dan and James moving from Ferrari to Alfa Romeo, they stick together. Paul and Josh, who are teammates in real life, are also teammates for the first time in TGP. They join each other at Toro Rosso. Aidan moves to Ferrari in place of Dan and James. He's joined by Wome. Martin and John is at Force India. Jack and Owen at Mercedes. Ben and Jordan at Williams. Matt and Jay Fletcher at McLaren. Mike and Jamie at Renault. And Smudge and Johnny at House. So lots of drivers there, Barry. But who is your money on going into the season?
I'm going to say Softy, world champion from season 30. He's going to be obviously the one on everyone's list to beat, and with him sitting comfortable in 2nd position at the moment, I think he might be, like you said, on for another back-to-back title. But I would keep an eye out on the LMC Hamilton in the Ferrari. I think he might be one to watch. And obviously Fletcher, currently on pole, newbie, he could surprise everyone as well. So I think the top 3 at the moment, I think, are the ones to watch this season for me.
Well, Softy's being very quietly moving himself up in the all-time winners and poles list. Now has 42 race wins, which is actually 5th on the all-time list, as we see Jamie about to cross the line to set his 2nd lap of the session. He does improve again, but like Softy, stays in his position. So a lot of the drivers now in the pit lane. We're going to see Jay and Softy come out for one more run. In fact, the whole field are going to get one more lap in. Jamie might be enough for him, and it is. He retires from the session. We won't set any laps this more qualifying. So it's going to be between the top 3. Martin as well, currently in P4. Fantastic lap from him. John is in 5th on his return. May have recognised him from the commentary box last season. And Aidan currently in P6. Well, who should we keep an eye out for here then, Barry?
Yeah, Aidan again, bad dude, very quick driver, but he had a very disappointing end to the end of last season. Quite a few DNFs. He was in the title hunt at the start of the season, and then he lost it towards the end. And also, is it James in the Sauber?
Yes, that's James. Currently down in P17, struggling at the moment.
Yeah, him and Dan the Man towards the end of last season. I was really impressed with them as well. I believe James got a couple of podiums towards the end of the season and finished third in the standings. So he's another one to watch out for.
LMC Hamilton currently 3/10 off the lead. He's going to be the first of the top three to set their laps, but you can see traffic in the way. Will that affect the Ferrari driver? Also in his first race, like GP1 Fletcher at the top. So the two newbies, first and third, getting off to a fantastic start here, but can Softy put that familiar face back on the front row? Yellow flags in sector 2 or 3, not sure if you've seen what that's for, Barry. But it looks like it has affected Womer, who is LMC Hamilton's lap. He is currently P3. Looked like he was backing off.
Yeah, I think it was
maybe it was a slow camera.
Down.
He doesn't improve, so maybe now he's starting his final lap. Softy also, I believe, now on his final lap, carrying the number 1. Let's see if Softy can take back top spot as Jay Fletcher also now starts his lap. So Softy has a 10th to gain, a 10th to find. This hairpin's so crucial, needs to get it right. A bit of a lock-up and a bit of a skid as well behind it, but he's got out of it fine. Let's see if he can respond in the second sector. The first sector is strong. Just a 10th is needed to find, but it's such a short circuit. 1 minute 11 lap. Will we see anyone different to the 1 minute 10s? Softy runs a little bit wide, takes the curve, but no time will be lost there. Great entry into that corner. You can see him pushing really hard, that Red Bull. He saved his ears for this lap. Once again, very squirrely, almost loses the car. And he puts a wheel on the gravel, and that might be it. He goes wide. I'll be surprised if this goes quickest.
Fletcher's going quicker. 3/10 up in the first sector.
And Softy doesn't improve. How about LMC Hamilton? P3 goes a bit wide there, but that'll help for the next corner. He goes very wide. Is it going to be quicker? He goes first. He does go into the 1 minute 10s. So now it's down to the McLaren to respond. LMC Josh has gone into 4th, Martin 5th, John is still in 6th. Aiden won't get another lap in, so it is going to be down to GP1 Fletcher. Can he take his first pole in his first race, or will LMC Hamilton get that delight? I think LMC Josh is going to be in 4th. I think he has finished his lap already. I think there's a Mercedes in front. Was that a Williams? It might be Malden Man. GP Fletcher. He doesn't take it.
He doesn't.
He doesn't take it. Wame should take pole. Jonas goes 4th. A fantastic lap from him.
Yeah, Martin crosses the line. And he doesn't improve.
LMC Josh is one to look out for. He is on another lap. I thought maybe he'd finished it. But unfortunately, for Softy, he's going to start no higher than 3rd. As Dan goes 4th.
Oh, Dan the Man.
In the Alfa Romeo. That's an excellent qualifying on him. Only 3/10 off LMC Hamilton's time. So Josh, he dived into the pit lane, in fact, so he had abandoned his lap. And that is his qualifying session over.
Yep, and nobody else is improving by the looks of it, so I think that is your grid.
LMC Hamilton will be on pole position, unless James can, let's not discount him, he is a 6-time champion, but he is down into the pit lane. He will start 16th alongside Malden Man. 2 former rivals in TGP1 find themselves 16th and 17th. 9 drivers' titles between them. They get the start on the back row. And it just shows how competitive this season is. We've got so many champions in the grid. So many drivers who are easily contenders for this championship. And at the moment, it doesn't look like we have an answer as to who that might be. Well, the first race of the season. Just a reminder that our point system in TGP rewards down to the top 12. So it's a bit like the F1 system, but slightly different from 6th downwards. It's 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No bonus points for qualifying, but there is Barry, a new addition. It's going to be the Barry Baldwin fastest lap bonus point. Sorry, it's not for the fastest lap, it's for whatever you decide it to be. And I think we should give this one to the first driver to crash out should get the bonus point. Thoughts, Barry?
Oh, you putting that on me, are you?
You've got the decision in your hands. I think we should give it to the first driver to crash out in the race. I think that should be what gets the bonus point. Thoughts?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Right, done. So there will be a bonus point for the first driver to crash out in the race.
They can't crash out on purpose, though.
No. If Barry thinks it's deliberate, it doesn't count. You lose a point.
No.
Has to be
minus.
legitimate crash. So I expect that to be probably Jack Pearson 93, I think. I think he's got to be a favourite for that. But anyway, it's the points in the race that counts. It's the points in the race that counts. So let's see how this race starts. So it's a dry race. The first race of the year. We have green trees and blue skies. And we are all ready now for the new season. Here we go then. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. The new season is underway. Can Softy clear the front 2 at the beginning? He's not got a great start, but LMC Hamilton has kept the lead. Jay Fletcher right behind in second. Softy almost down to 4th. He is down to 4th. Dan the Man takes the position. But it's Jay Fletcher and Hamilton already battling at the front. They make slight contact. And oh, that was clumsy from Jay Fletcher. Clumsy from Jay Fletcher. And Softy now back and still into P3, which means Martin and Dan are our new race leaders. That was a very clumsy move there from Jay Fletcher. Not sure what he was thinking. And now Dan the Man has a chance to take the lead of the race. Softy will have a run on the pair of them. As they come down here into this corner, it's going to get very tight between them. And it is going to be Dan the Man or Martin, is it? It's Martin. Martin takes the lead just about. Dan the Man and Martin side by side. This is brilliant stuff from the front 2. And now Softy looking to get in there as well. This 3 are fighting so cleanly, so brilliantly. Dan the Man will be inside. Looks like he's taken it, but can Softy get all both of them? It's getting very close, but look at that. Still somehow no contact. Softy, P3, Dan the Man still fighting for that win. Can he get clear of Martin? Martin with a fantastic own lap to take the lead of the race. And Dan the Man second still, but Softy still fighting him, and John is just behind him 4th, so there's a great scrap here at the front. But it's Martin from Dan, from Softy, from Johners, Selene and Jack 5th and 6th. Aiden's up to 7th, but the fight we continue for now is still this front 3. Martin, Dan, Softy. Nothing between them, 0.3 of a second. Martin goes wide. Softy has to avoid a spinning Dan the Man who almost lost his car. Dan in his new colours of Alfa Romeo. Can Softy fire up the inside? He just about, what a move from Softy. He takes the position, but will Softy, in fact he is, Dan the Man repasses immediately straight away. These two side by side, which will allow Martin to get a bit of room. The two of them, we've got the wrong camera angle there from the director, but Softy looks to take the inside line to the hairpin. He goes up and Dan the Man can't respond, and Dan the Man down to P3, but can he get a better exit? He can't. I think in fact we've got to have a Jonas behind him, but for now, Dan the Man down to P3. Can he get back through on Softy? Which line is he going to pick? He goes left. And he gets the inside again. Softy and Dan bang wheels.
Oh, great
but both
racing,
remain on
boys.
track.
Great racing.
This is good. Dan the Man almost loses the back end of the car. But Martin leads 1.5 clear now. This is all helping him. Look at the fight behind. So Martin leads by a second and a half, going for his first win in years. Dan the Man second, Softy in third, but just a 10th behind. John is 4th, Selene 5th. And Jack Pearson still in that 6th position. A fantastic start from him, from I think back in 12th on the grid. So a superb start. In fact, Jay Fletcher is the early DNF, so he retired on the opening lap. Very clumsy with LMC Hamilton, who is now himself down to P11. So the front 2 getting a bit messy. But it is Martin who leads by a second and a half. A fantastic start from him. Dan the Man also to get into 2nd position. Stayed out of trouble. And those two...
Softy should get DRS now.
He should on the 3rd lap. Looks like it's going to be a sitting duck, Dan the Man. Softy with DRS, the reigning champion. Looking to become the first back-to-back champion in 10 seasons. Up the inside and takes P2. Dan the Man gets very close, looks to get the cutback again. But Softy with a great exit and now can start doing something about Martin behind. John is now P4 on his return. He's got to be fearful of Selene behind him, who's up to an excellent 5th position in the Williams. His teammate Maldeman also up to 13th. So the Williams making moves in the race so far. Jack Pearson is being pushed by Aiden behind. Moved over to Ferrari for the new season. Jack unfortunately finished, I think, down in 12th in the championship last season, which was his lowest finish in TGB1. So looking for a response this time round. But Aiden already putting him under pressure. Aiden himself
at the front already.
Oh, 0.8 of a second. Softy already closing in.
Past Dan. He's already on him, and he's in DRS range.
Softy's flying. We'll go back to that shortly. In fact, he's going to have DRS already. Is he in DRS now?
He's in DRS. He might go for it here.
Softy already very close on Martin. It only took him a lap to close up that second gap. Softy is flying. Martin really struggling here, maybe with the tyres. We should see pit stops in a lap or two as well, so this is getting very tense. We see,
there we go.
Once again, the director keeps giving us the wrong camera angles, but Martin Diver relinquishes the lead and Softy takes over at the front. Martin will brake late, look to get the cutback, but unfortunately for him, Softy makes a clean move, and Softy up into P1. A fantastic race for him, but Martin is not going to let him go easily. Martin coming back at him already. He goes to the right. Softy will try to defend. The two of them get very close. They keep each other with room, and Martin Diver, for now, almost coming together with Softy, but they keep it clean. And Softy takes over at the front from Martin and Dan the Man, now right behind these two. 4 laps down, 4 tenths between the top 3. Aiden still fighting Jack hard.
Battle at Jack Pearson, Bart Dude, and Paul Guinness.
Very close here. Battles throughout the field. A brilliant start to this season. And we see already, Aiden is pitting.
Martin follows, and top 3 are in.
Top 3 are in already. Wow. So Jonas takes over at the front. Let's see if Softy can get a clean piss off. Will he get stuck in traffic? Looks like he's okay. He won't be held up. He comes out. But Softy got a penalty. A very slow getaway there. And he may have been jumped by, I think Martin has taken over. Yes, Martin has taken over at the front. So unless that's a lag pit stop for Softy, Softy has dropped behind Aiden, Dan and Martin. And Aiden was down in 6th position before the pit stops. So that is a disastrous stop for Softy. Did he have a 5-second penalty we didn't know about? Dan and Paul fighting for P3. Paul on, is that the soft tyres or the medium tyres? I'm so used to the new 2019 tyres, I'm not quite sure what the 2018 tyres are. But we can see Jack Pearson and Paul still fighting for what is P3 at the moment. You can see there.
Yeah, Softy's lost quite a bit of time there.
He has. Martin Diver, our new net leader, and Jonas will be looking to jump Softy as well if he makes his pit stop now, which he may well do. Paul will stay out a bit longer because he's gone for the alternative tyre strategy. But wow, Barry, what a start to this race.
It's fantastic. It's been fantastic battles throughout the field. It's going to be interesting to see where Bart Dude is going to come into play in this, because he is right on the back of Dan the Man now. Now he's pitted a lap early before Jack Pearson and Paul. Paul carries on. Jack's in the pits.
Jack's come out just behind Jonas as well. Jonas, will he jump Softy? I think he will. He will. He'll be out ahead of him, but it's going to be very close between Jack and Softy. Teammates from last season, but Jack has come out behind.
Aiden's going to be a net P3. After all the pit stops, Bart Dude Aiden should be a net P3. It's worked out well for him.
Looking very good then, as we see Paul getting very close to Solane. Looking to take over the front. Neither of these two have pitted yet, but Paul goes for the move up the inside. Fantastic stuff from Paul. Brilliant stuff from the Toro Rosso driver. On the slower tyres too.
Yes, he is, actually is, yeah. He's on the alternate strategy, so he's going to be rapid at the end of the race.
Paul McGee normally does very good in qualifying. I think he has an incredible, I think it's 19 poles, which is 9th overall in the GTB1 poles list. Not as much wins, but seems to put it together in qualifying, but for now he's putting it together in the race. Everyone has stopped now, apart from Paul, who will go long in this race. He'll have a 13-second gap, I believe, over Martin, but Softy now looking to gain back the positions he lost as he chases down Aiden, who himself is chasing down Johns.
It's Solane's in the pits. He's going to come out behind Jack Pearson.
You can see Aiden fighting Johns.
Another retirement.
Smudge has retired from this race, the 3rd retirement. Oh, didn't see what happened to James, by the way. Didn't see what happened to James. As Aiden goes around outside of Jonas into the hairpin. Jonas forces him wide though, runs Aiden out of room. Very cheeky from the Force India driver, but he keeps in the position. And you can see Softy behind the pair of them, so Softy cannot afford to lose too much time here. Now, what did you think of the first lap incident between LMC Hamilton and GP1 Fletcher, Barry?
I don't like to point blame. It was clumsy. But I think Fletcher, he was very late on the brakes, going into the hairpin as well. I think that's how he DNF'd. If he made contact with James in the Salvo, I'm unsure, because James also retired on the first lap. But yeah, new season, 2 new drivers. Hopefully it irons out for the next race.
Well, at the corner, they made contact. Softy goes up the inside of Aiden. They don't make contact. Two good drivers that have a good respect to each other. And Aiden just about holds on to the position, but Softy is getting racy. He'll have DRS. I think both will have DRS actually. So that could help Aiden fight back, but you can see Softy has moved to the left. He's taken the position. Softy's gone onto the purple tyres.
Jonas has gone for the move on Dan the Man into the hairpin.
Yeah, battles all over the field. A fantastic start to the season as Softy takes the position and Dan loses one to Jonas. So Jonas and Martin are a net 1-2. It's a Force India 1-2. A fantastic first race for them. Of course, we are still calling them Force India for now. This is still F1 2018. But I think also it's a bit difficult to remember to say Racing Point. So I'm going to keep saying Force India for now. But I'll try and get to Racing Point by the end of the season. Well, here we go then. Your net leaders are Martin from Jonas from Dan, Softy in 4th, Aiden, Jack, Selene behind, Jamie Day, a respectable P9, but Paul still yet to pit, has a 13-second lead. He's won here before. In fact, I think he went a 3-year break once without a win, but then came back to Germany and won it. And won it with Ferrari too, of all teams. As Dan the Man picks up a 3-second time penalty, which is not what he needed. He's in a net podium position. But now Softy behind will take that position at the end of the race because Dan the Man's put up a 3-second time penalty for going wide. That's the last thing he needed to do. But he wanted that win. You can see him getting very fighting. Look at the pace difference on Jonathan. Look at that. It's not even in the slipstream. Around the outside, he's going to take him, I think. Unless Jonas breaks really late. Jonas gets a good turn in, but Softy, look at that right behind him. Dan the Man almost running out of room behind. But Jonas for now holds on to the position. Dan the Man wants that place. And once again, this helps Martin. We got Chopper Cam here as Softy gets very racy, almost slides into the back. Just about keeps it clean. Fantastic racing here. Bart Dude also won a piece of the cake too behind. This is fantastic stuff here. Martin, who's finished 7th in the last 2 championship seasons, looking like he's going to start this one with 25 points as things stand, but there's still a long way to go. We've got Chopper Cam, which we love Chopper Cam here. Chopper Cam is our favourite. I think we should give the bonus point to the Chopper Cam there, Barry. Never mind the first DNF.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chopper Cam's where it's at. And here we go. Softy all over Dan the Man. Surely this is going to be his best chance. DRS is activated. Dan still has it too, but Softy, can he go up the inside line? His position he's taken from Aiden already.
Oh, Aiden was late on the brakes.
This is allowing though. Jonas' slow place here is allowing Dan the Man to also take DRS and potentially defend from Softy because of it. You can see Softy. He'll try again. He got through before, but Dan did fight back. Softy. Dan defends the inside. He'll have to be the outside. Aiden behind almost takes the pair of them. Running out of room as Jonas gets... Sorry, Dan the Man gets very wiggly out of the hairpin. Almost took himself out. But look how racy they are. Jack Pearson's joined the fight now in P7. Aiden, you can see, so close. The whole field is so close. This could actually help Paul out massively. If Paul can keep... He remains 13 seconds clear of Martin, but the rest, if they keep fighting behind, Paul's going to have a nice gap to slot into. I think at the moment Paul would be down in 8th or 9th. But if these guys continue to fight and Paul continues to set good laps out front on those tyres, Paul has a chance to get into this fight towards the end of the race. This is brilliant. Martin, our net leader, from Jonas, from Dan, from Softy.
Yeah, six cars on the same piece of track. Selene is not far behind. Then you've got Jamie not far behind. And then Wummy in the Ferrari is also catching.
Oh, we got Softy again. Going for the position on Dan the Man and taking the position, but the two of them still side by side. A bird's eye view from Aiden behind. Aiden could potentially get the pair of them here. Dan the Man doesn't have the help from DRS this time, which is going to cost him. But look at Aiden's pace. He's going to go on the right. The three of them are going to be side by side. And can Jack behind join in?
Aiden's got the inside line.
Aiden has the inside, but he doesn't take it.
Slight
contact, but just about. He gets Dan the Man, who's now going to be passed by Jack Pearson potentially. He doesn't. Jack pulls out of it, but fantastic stuff. Every car changing position, corner by corner, lap by lap, and Dan the Man and Aiden getting very close there, very racy.
I think Aiden picked up a bit of wing damage there.
Maybe. Aiden Griffin's now down
Jack
to P6.
Lost the position to Selene.
Selene up to P7. A fantastic drive from the Williams driver. He looked to get Aiden here. Here's Aiden suffering from some front wing damage maybe. Paul continuing to set fine pace out front, and there you go. Aiden does pit.
Yeah, Aiden's in.
So that promotes Selene up to P6, which is a net P5, as Martin, the race leader, picks up a 3-second time penalty. disaster for him. He's got a 2-second lead over Jonas, but he's picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Aiden's got speed in the pit lane.
Dear.
Slane now gets a penalty as well.
These drivers need to be cautious with the racing lines. Softy could take a net. He could actually inherit the win if the drivers in front keep getting penalties. But that means Paul now has a 15.4 second lead over Martin, theoretically. As we now see the yellow flag out in sector 3, so there's an incident somewhere there. But Paul McGee continuing to lead the way. 12 seconds clear of Martin, yet to make his pit stop. He will pit for the ultra soft tyres. Very shortly, he'll make the most of them. He'll be looking to get himself back into the top 5 later on in the race. But Paul McGee setting some fine pace in that Toro Rosso. Of course, joined by LMC Josh at Toro Rosso. One at the front, one at the back. The two of them are teammates.
Oh, he's actually catching his teammate.
The Toro Rosso boys are putting on a bit of a show for us today. They are teammates in real life. And teammates in league racing too. I think that's the first time that's happened in TGP. And the two of them are putting on a show. And Paul, I'm sure, will enjoy this. He's about to lap his teammate. I'm sure Paul will be sat there licking his lips. He'll be doing other things too, but I'm not going to get involved into that. Paul McGee is about to lap his teammate. So we see Selene battling down the man for P5, continuing to fight. Look at this, we go away for one moment, come back, and the 5 of them are still at it. Fantastic here. Look how close they all are.
Jamie and Wimmy are on
one goes wide, that will help Jamie in front give a bit of a breathing space. Suddenly he doesn't have to look behind him, he can look in front instead. And we see Jack going for a move on Selene. Selene looking to go for a move on down the man. Down the man gets his braking right, Selene goes wide, and Jack Pearson has a chance to go up the inside of the hairpin. And I think he's taken it. Brilliant stuff, Jack Pearson to P6.
Selene's not giving it up.
Selene wants the position back, but Jack Pearson for now keeps P6. What a fantastic start to the season this has been. So many battles, so many changes of the lead, so many changes of the corners. And we still don't know who's going to win. Martin, our race leader, has a 3-second time penalty. Paul's still going. Is he ever going to pit? Does he know the rules? Does he know he's got to pit?
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag, I believe someone's gone wide, and Jack Pearson loses it in front of Selene, keeps the car somehow, and for now keeps P6. Wow. I don't know who to follow, it's all happening. So many battles on track. Softy now 9/10 behind Jonas, which is really the fight for the lead. Of course, Martin with that penalty, a clumsy penalty to pick up. One he really didn't need to get. And wow, trying to get my breath back, Barry.
Aiden has come back out of the pits. He's on now the ultra softs. He's got 3 and a bit laps to push some laps to catch Jamie, and he could salvage a point still, Aiden, but it's disappointing again for him.
Well, Martin and Jonas, the big movers. Malden Man, Owen also making up moves in this race, and you can see LMC Hamilton dropping to 8th position from the front row of the grid. LMC Josh as well, forgot about him, started P7, dropped to P15, so he's had some damage I'm sure, or just a dodgy pit stop somewhere.
Yeah,
as
he's
see in the background while they're going wide
as well.
And Paul does finally make his pit stop.
Tactics.
Let's see where Paul rejoins. What's that, Barry?
Josh is slowing the leaders down. Josh is slowing the leaders down.
LMC Josh helping out his teammate Paul here, potentially. Of course, blue flags, he'll have to get away eventually.
Oh, he's not making it easy.
Almost goes through. He'll have to get out of the way after 3 blue flags. And there we go, Martin Diver goes through with DRS. Martin Diver takes the position. And where does Paul rejoin? Paul has come out in P4. He's a lot closer than I thought he'd be. He's about 4 seconds off the race lead. Paul, a potential race winner. Remember, Martin has a 3-second time penalty.
Selene.
And you see LMC Josh off the second again, everyone's way. Selene going for a move on down the man. The two of them are so close. Jack Pearson still fighting. So many battles on track. I want to go back to the lead, but for now let's stick with this. Selene fighting down the man hard, who himself has been caught by Jack Pearson. But keep an eye on Paul McGee. 5 seconds off the lead. Can Paul take a shock win in the opening round? I say shock win, he did finish 3rd in the championship last season. But with other bigger names coming in, you would have thought Paul maybe potentially could have dropped down the order. But Paul McGee, I gotta say, driver of the day for me. Fantastic race from him. Paul McGee really setting a light in this first race. I think we should give the bonus point to Paul Barry.
Yeah.
The Barry Baldwin, fastest lap. bonus point. As Softy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Softy and Martin both with 3-second time penalties, which promotes Jonas to the lead, and Paul, I think he remains fourth for now.
P2.
But yeah, potentially P2 if he can close in on Martin and Softy.
Paul is 3.6 seconds behind Softy at the moment.
Jonas is our reigning TGP Cars champion, took the title only this time last week.
And
he's looking
for P5 again.
You can see it here, Dan, Selene and Jack still fighting away. I'm going to go back to the front very shortly because Jonas is just 2 tenths now off Martin. Will Martin let his teammate through potentially, knowing that he has a penalty, and potentially hold up Softy and Paul behind as Mike himself picks up a 3-second time penalty. All these cars are going wide and forgetting to brake. Unfortunately, the game doesn't like it, and they are giving themselves penalties. As there you go, Jack Pearson himself goes wide. Will that be a 3-second penalty? It's not. He didn't gain any time, thankfully. But you can see so many battles on track.
Softy is pushing. Softy is definitely pushing now after
As we
getting
start
that penalty.
the final lap of this race, the front three are separated by less than a second. Can Softy
into turn 1.
go for Jonas on turn 1? Jonas doesn't have to fight him, he knows.
Better of it.
Softy's a penalty, he might not know that, but Softy is looking to fight Jonas. Will this help Martin out? Paul has now got to 2.6 behind Softy, so Paul will jump up to third as things stand. But look at that, Softy up the inside of Jonas, he's taken the position. Softy into P2, but of course has the time penalty. Jonas might not know that. Softy himself might not know that Jonas might not have one. It's all mind games at the moment. But Softy for now takes
Paul
the position.
Just needs to make up half a second. If Paul can make up half a second, he should get P2.
This is very good. As things stand, I think Jonas will win the race in P3 because the top two have gone wide and picked up time penalties. Paul himself is just 2 seconds back from Jonas. If he can get a bit closer to Martin, he can take P2 from this race. Martin will cross the line first, but lose the win. How far is Jonas behind Martin? He's 2 seconds back, so Jonas might take it by just under a second. Well, Martin Diver, what a performance it's been. He's very unfortunate to lose this race win, I think, but it's been a fantastic drive from the Force India driver. Martin Diver in the Force India will cross the line first to take the original lead. Softy will finish behind, but Jonas does take the race win, and Paul does take second. He takes P2 by a tenth of a second. Selene will just miss out on Dan and I think. Selene and Dan both with penalties, which means Jack jumps them both. Oh, someone's LMC Hamilton's crashed across the line. The Ferrari driver ends with 3 wheels. And Jamie Day's got to avoid that one. But wow, what a race. Jonas takes the win. Barry, wow, what a race. And who are you giving your Barry Baldwin fastest lap bonus point to, even though it's not fastest lap? I say it's got to be Paul, surely.
Yeah, go on, we'll give it to Paul.
Paul McGee's picked himself up the Barry Baldwin fastest lap. It's not a fastest lap, bonus point.
As his teammate takes it right at the end.
As his teammate actually takes the fastest lap. But we're giving it to Paul because he is our driver of the day. An absolutely fantastic race there. Jonas taking the race win, which, believe it or not, actually puts him ahead now with Softy in the winners list. I never thought I'd see the day where Softy gets overtaken in the winners list, but that is Jonas's 43rd career win. What a drive. Both Force Indias making the podium. Absolutely fantastic for them. And Paul with a second position. Excellent drive from him. And we can see the results now, but what a race. Wow, Barry, sum that one up.
Fantastic. We've got a challenge to live up to that race tomorrow, haven't we? Yeah, that was throughout the field, battles everywhere. Majority of the field, very, very clean, fair racing. And yeah, good comeback for Jonas, getting his victory.
Indeed it was. Wow, what a first race of the season then. The top 12 picking up points, which means Aiden and Mildon Man are the beneficiaries of that. They take the positions 11th and 12th, but Jamie Day, respectable P10. Owen coming home 9th, having started 13th on the grid. Jack Pearson was the big mover, 5th from 10th, but Paul 2nd from 12th, 10 places gained, of course benefiting from that fresh tyres, which allowed him to do the alternate strategy. Played massively into his hands, and look at that, 9 tenths off the race win in the end for Paul. One more lap, and who knows, maybe Paul could have won this race, but wow, what a start to the season. What a start this has been. Jonas takes the 25 points from Paul 2nd and Martin in 3rd, and we're off to Spain next. Spain, a track you enjoy, Barry?
No,
me neither. Absolutely dreadful circuit.
Yeah.
Well,
I never find the right balance and setup for Spain.
I just think it's a boring circuit, personally. You know, no one wants to race at Spain. When I saw the calendar and saw that Spain was in week one, Barry, I lost my shit. I wasn't happy. All right. Right then. So Jonas takes the championship lead. Jonas leads a TGP1 championship. Jonas hadn't won a PS4 title until last week. Maybe now he's got the monkey off his back, he can go on to take a third driver's title in TGP1. But wow, what a first race.
Yep. That's, is that Force India taking the lead in the constructors?
Force India indeed take the lead, 40 points. Red Bull only picking up 12. Toro Rosso only getting 18, so already a healthy lead for Force India, the Constructors' Championship. As we move now on to Spain, one against, we'll see an 18-minute qualifying session, followed by a 25% race. Mixed up calendar, of course, for this season, as it is our final season on F1 2018. We'll go through the calendar right now. Of course, one thing to mention as well, next week there will be a triple header. Of course, 21 rounds in a season. Doing 2 races every week leaves us with an even number. So 3 races next week, which are Italy, Hungary and Bahrain. But after that, Barry, who's our title favourite?
I'm still sticking with Softy. I think Softy is still the one to beat. He still looked very racy, but with Jonas missing out last season and on his return, he might have a point to prove. So, you know, getting that good a victory there. Well, getting the victory due to penalties. But I still think as a LMC Hamilton, Wummy in the Ferrari, I still think he might be one to watch. It was unfortunate, the little mishap with Fletcher at the start of that race. And again, obviously Fletcher, you know, we don't know. He's new to the season. So 3 or 4 drivers, I think, might be on Softy's after Softy's crown.
Title race is wide open. And although we lost the battle, we were robbed of a battle between Wame and Jay Fletcher. We did get an almighty battle instead. So maybe it's a good thing those two got themselves in trouble. Obviously, of course it's not, but we did get an almighty race following that. Well, Aiden finished 6th in the championship last season, moves over to Ferrari this time, joining Wame. This is what he had to say before the race today.
You know, there's a lot of races to go, but obviously we have a quick car. We know we can extract the pace from the SF71, but the problem is extracting all the pace from it, because it's quite a difficult car to really control, especially with everything now a neutral playing field. Literally, I think the championship is blown wide open. There is pace there. We've seen that in testing. We're only a couple of tenths off Softy, which is an improvement from last season. So, you know, we look forward to this season to really see what we can do. Hopefully we can fight for the championship. We think that is the main goal. We need to bring a championship back to Ferrari, and I think that is the main goal this year.
Well, Aiden looking for the championship at Ferrari. I'm not sure he knows I use these videos, by the way, so let's keep that quiet. Let's keep that on the down low, Barry. Let's keep that on the down low. Let's let Aiden keep sending these videos and I keep playing them during qualifying. Gives me something to talk about. And we see Aiden in the gravel already. Needs to keep that car on the grey stuff. He wants to get himself in that title push. So then, second qualifying session of the season. It should be really interesting to see if GP1 Fletcher or LMC Hamilton can once again beat Softy to pole. Softy, who's been so well in qualifying of late. I think he's had in total 39 career pole positions, which is just 3 less than he has wins. But still 39 poles, and he picked up a lot last season, which was a big help in his push for the driver's title. So then a few stats from some of our drivers for this season, or a few to look out for at least anyway. 3-time champion, not mentioned him yet, but currently P3. Malden Man, a former 3-time champion, making his return. It's his first appearance in 6 years in TGP1. Wow. So he's been out for a while, but he's back. I'm not sure he'll get a 4th title this season, but it's fantastic to see him back. A proper great from the PS3 era. Hasn't raced since F1 2013, which was season 19, which was, believe it or not, about 5-6 years ago. So Benalese is back in TGP1, and hopefully we can see him move up the field as he gets used to the game throughout the year. Ben himself has 65 race wins, which is only 4 behind the all-time leader in James. James himself on 69 race wins and finished 2nd last season. Got off to a slow start, only to respond by winning in Bahrain and setting some consistent results to take P2 in the championship behind Softy. Can he go one better this season? Well, he got off to a terrible start in round 1. Didn't pick up any points, as did Mike, Smudge, Jay Fletcher and Johnny. So already a terrible start for 6 of the drivers, as JP1 Fletcher is our first driver to take top spot, and Softy responds with a 1:17.3. Let's go now to the Ferrari driver of LMC Hamilton. Expect him to put a time right at the top. Can it be quicker than Softy? A 1:17.3 to beat with a 1:17.4. A 10th and a half behind for now, but it's the same top 3, just in a different order. And this is going to be a fascinating qualifying to watch. Jonas, where does he go? The race winner, the championship leader, currently P11, yet to set a lap. Can he put that Force India at the front in his first run? He has an average qualifying in Germany, but we saw him convert that to a race win. Let's see how he can do here in Spain. Crosses the line. Where does he go? He goes only 7th. He's 6/10 off. Not the best first lap from Jonas. It is a steady opening lap to set, as we see now. Most drivers have set their laps. Just Mike, Josh, James and Dan yet to complete laps. Dan the man unfortunately finished down in 6th in the end of that race. Was looking very good from at one point, but a time penalty and a loss of a couple of positions as a Mercedes in the background looked to be going wide. Maybe in fact he picked up a puncher there. We've got yellow flags out in sector 1 and 2. But the drivers are fighting for those 25 points and for the Barry Baldwin fastest lap, which isn't actually a fastest lap bonus point, which we go to the driver of the race. Well, poor Mick G. Of course, these points don't actually count for the championship. This is all bullshit. But it's a little prize for that to give out. See who gets the most bonus points over the season. So Barry, Softy 1:17.3, is that going to be beaten? Can we see that lap time come down?
Oh yes, most definitely. You know, we've still got 12 minutes to go. The track will just improve. Let's see, and is it super soft, softs and mediums at Spain, or do we have ultras?
I think you might be right there. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, but by the looks of the amount of drivers on super softs, I think that might be the fastest tyre. So,
oh, there's a car going off on the right. I don't know who that is. There's a Sauber. Is it Dan the man? It's not Dan the man. Is it James? I don't know what that was. I don't know if you saw that, but there was a car. Maybe it was a Renault of Mike. Mike seems to have forgotten where the racetrack goes.
Yeah, it's
Google
Mike.
Maps out on his phone. Quick look to see which way the track is, and he's found it again. Back onto his... Oh no, he's lost it again. Google Maps has taken him the wrong way, and Mike Noon trying to drastically open the app again, reopen the app. Google Maps, load, he shouts, and he's back up onto the circuit. And Google Maps has taken him the wrong way. It's taken him the old layout, which is classic.
We don't
classic
run that
Google
circuit anymore.
No, Mike Noon. Oh, Google Maps has taken him in all sorts of ways. Mike Noon, I fear might be lagging a bit. Google Maps though does finally get into the pit lane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, going back to who might get pole. John has sat in P7, only 6/10 off, and he's on the slower tyre.
Wow, very good spot. I didn't spot that. He is. He's on the the soft tyres, isn't it? I believe. Now, Dan the man seemed to be a tradition last season. Every time I spectated him, he seemed to make a spin or get in trouble. Let's hope that luck has changed. It's a new season, new Dan the man, new team. Let's see if he can keep that Alfa Romeo Sauber on the circuit this time. Get a bit of space from the car in front. I believe that's a Haas in front. Look forward to seeing the new cars in the new game come September, when the new F1 2019 is released. But as the drivers now start their second of 3 laps in this session, we see Dan the Man. Let's go on board of him. Finished P6 despite looking at one point like a potential winner in Germany. It's a circuit he's won well. He's won, I think, 3 times in the past here, Dan the Man. Back all in the PS3 era. Let's see how we can get on now is Jamie Day. Currently P4, forgot to mention, a track he really likes, and P4 for him, fantastic, just 2/10 off Softy's lap time. So Jamie Day potentially for the second and third lap could bring that down.
P3.
He has P3, 2/100ths of a second off Jay Fletcher. Dan the Man, the only one yet to set a lap time. Smudge has set a lap, but a very slow one. Mike as well. Both those two will be looking to set quicker laps. Paul McGee may well want to start behind the top 10, knowing that how much it helped him in the last race. Not sure what the race strategy is going to be with the weather. We have seen rain here in recent seasons, that is one to watch, but Dan the Man, 23.2 in the middle sector, as Jay Fletcher goes quickest with a 1:17.1. He beats Softy by 2/10 of a second and takes over at the front. We'll see Softy how he responds very shortly. He's still in the pits apparently, but Dan the Man are on board of him, and you can see already a Toro Rosso behind. Is that Paul or Josh already has caught Dan the Man? In fact, they pit. So Dan across the line, can he improve? I mean, he's got to improve on 18th surely. He goes 16th, he improves by 2 positions, and Dan the Man, I have a feeling, won't be happy with that lap time.
I'm just having a quick look.
LMC Hamilton spin dip.
Oh.
He tried to get a good line to the final corner, but he's once again, for the second time tonight, he's lost more than a wheel. LMC Hamilton will go no further in this qualifying in it. That means it's down to surely Softy, Jay, Aiden and Jamie, and James has gone P6 in the Alfa Romeo. Fantastic, you can see to the left the Ferrari off the circuit. Wow, LMC Hamilton.
James in P6, also on the softer tyre.
So Jonas and James setting fantastic laps on the softer tyre. I wonder if they'll start on that tyre. I mean, to be in such a high position on those tyres, it's only going to be a huge help come race day, as long as it's actually a dry race. It must be a dry race if they're trying it. There's Jamie Day, Softy and Jay Fletcher all now coming out to start their next lap. Softy is 2/10 back from Jay Fletcher. Can Jay take his first pole in TW1? Just missed out to Wame, who is now out of the session. Wame is 4th, LMC Hamilton. Wame, LMC Hamilton, Tom, same person. Jonas is P3. Has he just gone there now? I don't remember seeing P3 before.
Martin's retired.
Martin joins Hamilton and Josh out of this session. Going no further, Martin Divers had a fantastic night racing wise, but has turned out to be very unlucky. He's got no higher than 9th.
Mike Noon is all over the track again.
Mike Noon,
well, he's not,
Google
he's
Maps
not
doesn't seem to have helped. Maybe he's trying Apple Maps now. Apple Maps, no, Apple Maps also takes in the wrong way. Apple Maps is not the app to use, Mike Noon. Into the pit lane. Oh no, wrong way, Mike Noon. Oh, he is in the pit lane. I'm starting to feel like Mike might have lag here, Barry. He might just have lag.
Oh, yes, that's definitely lag. He was going into the last corner, now he's in the pits. That's definitely
not
lag.
Even Google Maps can save lag.
I'm just going to butt in for a second, Dom. I've just been reading some of the comments in the chat. And Tom, Wummy, it's going to be rain at the start of the race.
Rain at the start of the race? Barry, what are you doing to me? Already, after that first race, now you're telling me it's going to be even more drama? Wow.
Yeah. And earlier comments from the Turn 2 incident in Germany. Apparently Fletcher is saying that Tom had moved into him.
Wow.
And then Owen had swiped him in the braking into the hairpin, and that's what DNF'd him.
Are there any comments about the Barry Waldron fastest lap, which isn't the fastest lap bonus point, which we give to the driver of the day?
Not at the moment, no.
Well, I don't know why that is, Barry, because people should be in there commenting in their hundreds. But anyway, important things are happening on the race circuit. Softy now coming into the final sector at 21.6 middle sector. That's fantastic. This looks like this could be the lap to take over at the front again. Jay Fletcher currently leads by just over 2 tenths, but Softy gets his final sector right. Maldeman moves out of the way.
It's starting to rain.
It is starting to rain at the end of the qualifying. Is that going to put Softy off? Takes the final few corners across the start finish line now. It's raining at the end of the qualifying, and Softy, has he done enough? He has not done enough. He stays second. The rain has come. Maybe that affected him. But is that going to be it for our drivers now? Jay Fletcher's on his lap, but surely the rain is going to be too much for him. You can see it. Well, he knows the closest driver behind to improve is probably going to be Jack Pearson in 8th. Everyone else are on out laps or in the pits or out of the session. I think Jay Fletcher might have this. In fact, I think he has got it, Barry. So I'm going to go to my results page.
Softy's in the gravel.
Softy's in the gravel. It's
Yeah,
definitely too wet out there now. Jay Fletcher is going to become a new pole sitter. Our second new pole sitter in as many races because it's raining out there.
Oh, we've got
Mike Noon is still trying to get used to his Google Maps. Will he ever find his way back to the circuit? I don't think Jonas is going to improve. You can see him really struggling here in the wet. It's rained at the worst possible time, and I think James, who set his laps on soft tyres, will he regret that if he starts inside the top 10? So I'm not sure anyone's going to improve, and Jay Fletcher goes quicker.
Fletcher improves.
What? It's raining out there.
Where's he found
Jonas.
that time?
Is he about to start or finish a lap? He is about to start a lap. So, very unlikely he'll improve with this rain. Maybe it's not raining enough. Softy then. Does he have another chance? I believe he was in the gravel this lap, wasn't he? So I don't think he'll improve.
Aiden's on the lap, and he's not doing too bad.
Softy pits.
It is sliding a bit, but it's not too bad.
So John is our championship leader. Can he improve on his lap time? He's got to gain 4 tenths of a second to beat Jay Fletcher, but Jay Fletcher surely now with this rain has P1 safe. Can he at least jump Jamie or Softy? What's happened? Aiden has binned it. Another casualty from this wet qualifying session. It's all happening here. But Jay Fletcher on pole by 3 tenths of a second. What a marker to set down. Looks like he's got pole safe because Jonas isn't improving in the wet. 21.9, still a very respectable middle sector, but maybe he can pinch Jamie or Softy, but he's not going to do it. Is he gone wide? Loses the car on the curb. Very wet out there. Getting very tricky now. And Jonas, I believe, will not improve on P4. The only driver still out there setting a lap time. James, Maldenman and Dan are all coming out, but I believe it's going to be worthwhile. Sorry, a bit pointless, really. We might as well get a bit of entertainment, go on board with Dan the Man. He'll spin it or do something in the rain. Dan the Man. So, entertainment hour, boys. Dan the Man, let's go on board with him for some pure entertainment here on the TGB Series YouTube account. Thank God, I thought he was going to pit and ruin our fun there, Barry.
He was 8.1 seconds off his fastest lap. So
right, what turn number is Dan going to go off? I'm going to go turn 3. Thoughts? Come on, Barry, you got to say it now.
Going up the hill.
Going up the hill, right. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Well, my prediction's already wrong, so I think you might be right. I actually think maybe it's going to be the hairpin at the final... Sorry, not the hairpin, the chicane in the final corners. Dan the Man, not giving us the entertainment we want so far. I mean, his first lap was so slow. He's probably going to improve on this lap time.
Oh. No.
Jay Fletcher's gone out again, but again, don't think he's going to improve. 1:17.0 is not going to be threatened in these conditions. 2 minutes to go in the session. Dan the Man looking to improve on P16, a 23.2 mil sector. It's really struggling out there. The drivers are running out of time. Oh, here we go. Entertainment hour. Dan the Man. Is he going to get around there? I'll be very surprised if he does the whole lap without trouble. Wow. Well, I never. Dan the Man has done a whole lap without trouble. Wow. Who's racing on Dan's PSM?
Wow, it's not bad lap there. He was 3.5 seconds quicker.
Oh, Jack Pearson though. In the wall, down to 3 wheels. Wow.
And it's Johnny is the old man.
Johnny and Jay left on track. Softy, has he gone back out again? He is back out on track. He's hoping. That's why he's a 3-time champion. He just hopes and hopes that the time will come, the rain will go, and he'll get another lap in. But it's not looking likely as ILR Johnny is looking to set his lap time. Can he improve on P12? It's, again, not a bad middle sector. 22.1. It's quicker than what Dan said, who's only just behind him. Oh, and he loses it now. Martin is going to start 11th at best at the moment. Paul down in 14th. Has he got the strategy wrong? The rain may have caught him out. Look at all the big guys at the back. LMC Josh, Paul, Dan, Martin, all towards the second half of this grid as Johnny crosses line. Can he improve on P12? He doesn't. He loses a wheel. Everyone's losing wheels out there. I don't know what to say. Softy and Jay just putting on an end of season show, I think. Two of them very close on track. Softy retires. So now we wait for Jay Fletcher. Will he make us wait 12 seconds? Or will he retire? He's retired. He's not going to make us wet. I think for that reason we should give Jay Fletcher the Barry Baldwin fastest lap, but not fastest lap, bonus point for driver of the day. Right. Jay Fletcher is your pole man in the McLaren. McLaren are at the front. Incredible. Barry, take us through this grid.
My grid, there we go. Okay, so we got the McLaren driver on pole yet again. World champion Softy will be starting alongside in P2. Great lap from Jamie Day, starting in P3. Jonas, last time out winner, is starting in P4. Wimmy in the Ferrari will be 5th. Selene 6th. Aidan Bartdude in 7th. Jack Pearson will be 8th. 9th will be James on the softer tyre. And Owen will round off the top 10.
Well, there we go then. Apparently we're hearing the race could be a wet start.
But how wet for James to set a lap time on the soft tyre and not go for the super softs? Is it going to be an intermediate start or will it be dries? It looks pretty wet.
It is pretty wet out there. So what a race we have now ahead of us here in Spain. The rain falls mainly in Spain. I can't remember the rest of the saying, Barry. Do you know it?
I don't know.
No, let's move on then. Let's move on. Something about the rain in Spain falls mainly in April? I don't know. I don't think that's it.
May?
Well, May, maybe? The rain in Spain falls mainly in May. That doesn't have a ring to it. What is it? We must be close. Anyway, there is a race about to happen. What a race we had in Germany. Can Spain give us something just as tasty? Who is going to win this race? We've got Softy starting alongside Jay Fletcher. Jamie Day in a high, a P3. John is 4th. Watch out for the Ferrari of LMC Hamilton in 5th. And a drive-through penalty for Paul and Maldenman. They jumped the start, got a bit too excited.
It's
and Softy,
intermediate. Oh, Softy's lost it. Ooh.
Softy's lost it. Jamie Day into P2 already.
Oh, he's going.
Softy really struggling in the Red Bull there. You can see everyone getting so close. Softy going across the gravel. He's struggling in the wet conditions. Softy's, look at them all. They're really struggling in these tricky conditions. The Renault, Jamie Day about to lose it.
Mike's out.
Mike's out of the race. Google Maps still not working, but it is. Everyone's losing it in front. Look at the tricky conditions. They can't keep it on the track. But it is Jay Fletcher who leads from LMC Hamilton and is at the Toro Rosso of LMC Josh in 3rd already. It's Paul into 3rd from 14th on the grid. How does he keep doing this?
Wow.
How does he keep doing this? Paul.
Give him the point again.
The bonus point has gone to Paul already. Driver of the day. The Barry Baldwin fastest lap. Not a fastest lap, but driver of the day bonus point has gone to Paul already. That's 2 points now. But wow, what a start. Softy down to P13. He is struggling with the car. He can't keep it on the circuit. Has he got the wrong setup on? There's no setup, is there? Softy in 13th position. Look at him struggling. Will he make a pit stop? Does he have damage? The Red Bull driver, the reigning champion, really struggling so far this season. Look at this. He just got to a terrible start. Went across the gravel. Just lost the control of the back end of the car. Tried to keep out of trouble, so just cut the turn 1 to stay out of trouble. And look at this. Very tight. You've got the leaders from the front and the back in this race. But Paul into an excellent P3 as LMC Josh goes wide into the gravel. Everyone's struggling out there on these intermediate tyres. Can Softy get Martin into turn 1? He'll have speed now. The confidence will start to come back here. John is also looking for a move on Aiden, slightly ahead. Softy can't get through on Martin. Maybe he can get the cut back going the outside here. Got to be very careful. I lost the race here once in TGB2. This corner can be very tricky in the wet, and you can see for now Martin now starting to close in on Johnny ahead of him. But Softy for now in P12, which is 1 championship point. But your top 5 is Fletcher, Hamilton, Paul, Selane and Jamie Day. Selane into P4. A fantastic day for some of these drivers as LLR Johnny has gone off into the gravel, which allows Mine and Softy through. Softy takes over that position. James O'Connor has just taken Jamie Day, who's gone across the gravel, really struggling in that Renault. He was up to P2 at the start, but has dropped back down to 6th position. Bart Dude into 7th. An okay start for him. You can see in the background Softy still trying to find the limits of the car, struggling here. A lot of these drivers, it's very, very twitchy, very slippery, very greasy, the circuit. And for now, Fletcher has a 1.7 second lead, looking to score his first points of the season. Wame only got 8th position last time out, which of course is 5 points in 2nd position. Paul would be our championship leader as things stand, I believe. But wow.
Oh, Paul's in the pits.
Paul pits already. What's that for? Oh, it's a drive-through, of course, a drive-through for jumping the start. That's why he was so high up.
Yeah.
That's why he was so high up. He jumped the start. Malderman will also make his pit stop. So that promotes everyone up a position. James up to 4th, Jamie to 5th, and Smudge has retired from this race. He's had an accident at the back on his own. So that's his race. John is down the man fighting. John is here for P7 and 8.
Wing change for Josh.
Wing change for Josh, the Toro Rosso boy. The Toro Rossos are not having a great race.
Jack Pearson.
Mercedes and Toro Rosso, a disastrous race here. Is it dry already? I don't think it is, no. That camera angle made it look like it was dry, but it's not. It's still wet.
Oh, Mummy's off. It's taking out some polystyrene barriers there.
Meanwhile, Aiden 6th, fighting Jamie Day for 5th. Jamie Day got a very great start, but then dropped back, got a bit greasy. Starts to lose a bit of confidence in the car, but he's got it back now into P5. Up in position thanks to Paul's penalty. And now looking to find his pace again and move up the field and take potentially a podium position, which he so deserves. He came so close last season, but kept missing out. Things kept going wrong. Spins, issues, other things, and unfortunately he didn't quite get the look he needed.
Traffic jam coming up now, Jamie Day.
You can see behind Aiden, John is Dan, Martin also about to join it. Softy still in P10, 2 seconds back from Martin, really struggling in these conditions. They do not suit him. As Jay Fletcher says, the fastest lap. No bonus point for that. Only a bonus point for driver of the day is Jamie Day now pits. Does he have damage? Does he have a drive through? Who's going to get the Barry Baldwin fastest lap? Bonus point, not a fastest lap actually for driver of the day, Barry. Now that Paul's down at P12, having jumped the start, which therefore means he is surely disqualified from your bonus point, Barry.
Yeah, he is.
Has to be.
Jonas.
Aiden and Jonas, they make contact. Jonas tried to lift off, but it was too late. And Aiden falls down at P9. There was a classic diffuser glitch on this game. Tap the back of the car, they're going to spin round. Jonas probably got a bit too close to Aiden, and Aiden drops down the field.
That's a shame. Oh, Owen's gone.
Down the man, and John is getting very racy here for now. P5 and P6 with the Force India of Mon right behind.
Owen's lost out at the last corner.
Oh, Owen's lost it on his own. He will not score points in this race. DRS is enabled, so the track is drying up. DRS enabled.
Well,
how will the rest of this race go now? Will we see a safety car? BSC yet to see one this season. But with the number of
we won't see one. No, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work in this game. Doesn't work. Closest battle on track at the moment is Jonas on Dan. P5 and P6. Watch out for James 2. Closing on a Selane in P3. But Jay Fletcher is actually pitted already. He's made a pit stop from the lead. Is he pitting for dry? Surely it's too soon, Barry. Surely it's too soon. They're all pitting. Dan, Martin also pits. Sorry, it's James that pits. Jonas pits. Martin stays out. Everyone's pitting apart from LMC Hamilton, Martin, and Softy. So surely it's too early though.
I think it's a lap too soon. Me personally, I think it's a lap too soon.
The medium tyres are what these drivers are going on to. It's what Jonas is going to at least anyway.
Softy carries on, so does Martin.
The top three have all carried on. Jay Fletcher, 3.6 off Softy. Let's see how that gap increases or decreases over the course of that. In fact, I think Jay Fletcher, it might actually be in the right time. Jay Fletcher is closing in on Softy. So I think it might well be in the right time. I need to shut up, Barry. I know nothing. It is, look at that, it's bone dry now, almost.
Yeah.
So clearly, the drivers know a bit more than I do. As LMC Hamilton now takes over at the front from Martin. Softy into third. Jay Fletcher having made his piss up in fourth. Paul up to fifth now, but yet to switch over from the intermediate tyres. But let's have a look at which tyres these drivers are currently on. You can see the top three all still on inters. Paul and Johnny also on the inters. Josh, in fact, on the wet tyres, the full wets. Maybe that's not the right call.
Glitch.
I don't know. But
No,
Jay
he's
Fletcher,
on full wets. He can't turn the car.
Jay Fletcher is closing in on Softy, who's on the intermediate tyre still. Jay Fletcher about to take over from the reigning champion. Softy, though, keeps the position for now. Jay Fletcher around the outside of Softy. Softy, though, still struggling on those intermediate tyres. He can't brake. Softy will have to pit, surely, which means Jay Fletcher will let him go up the inside.
Softy pits.
Softy into the pit, so all the front runners then making their pits, Barry.
Is out the box. Where is Fletch? Fletcher's going to retake the lead. Selene, watch out for Selene. Selene's going to take P2, is he?
There's a Mercedes off. Who's that? It's Jack Pearson struggling on the intermediate tyres, and Selene, you're right, is into P3 on the medium tyres. Wow, he's called that perfectly. James into fourth, Jamie Day fifth, Softy now back down in 10th. He's behind Paul. Paul having just made his pit stop. Mountain Man up to P12, having gained 3 positions. But every driver now having made a stop to go to the end of the race.
Jamie's
on his
struggling on his tyres, he's not got a temp. And Jonas is all over him.
Jonas, race winner last time out in Germany. Now on 43 career victories, putting him 5th in the all-time list. Oh, and Jamie Day is ahead, lost it. Jamie Day's off. He's lost a wheel, he's out of the race.
Oh, he's gone.
And he's starting to hump the barriers. Let's go up. This is very PG. Jamie, this is not safe for children. Wow.
Oh, could we see a Force India battle towards the end? As Martin is on the soft tyre and his teammate ahead of him is on the mediums.
Well, Softy now closing down on Paul McGee. As James sets the fastest lap of the race, now just 9/10 off Selene, looking to take back that position from him. We thought maybe they were pitting a little too early, but they did pit at the right time. Softy pitted the lap later and is now in P9 as Paul in the gravel. Softy, having gone to the soft tyres, not the mediums, takes over the position from Paul and is now into P8. Only finished 4th last time out in Germany. So looking to build on those positions. And let's see Josh back into 12th, having gone onto the wet tyres. Not the best call, but he's back into 12th. Thanks to the casualties that the rain has caught them out.
His tyres, I don't think his tyres are going to make it to the end. He's on the super soft.
Oh wow, probably not the wisest call there from the Toro Rosso drivers. As James now still within a second of Selene. Of course, DRS, remember, is back now. James O'Connor, 69-time race winner, 6-time champion. Looking to get his first podium of the season. Looking to build on last season's 2nd place championship finish. But with Jay Fletcher, that scored 25 points.
Gap's coming down at the front. It's only 3.5 second gap now.
Will be interesting to watch the front two. Of course, the front two came together in Germany. As Jay Fletcher responds with the fastest lap, and then Hamilton goes even quicker.
And Hamilton beats it straight away.
So it's down to 3.2. The front two in a race of their own at the moment. Softy unable to join in this championship fight.
James is in DRS. He's not going to make it into turn 1 though.
James, another of the runners to go on the medium tyres, feeling that that's the tyre to get into the end of the race. Selene having gone onto, I think, is that the soft ahead?
Fastest lap.
Softy with a 1:22.332, the new fastest lap. We don't give out a bonus point for fast lap here, we give out a bonus point for Barry Baldwin's driver of the race. Is Baldwin even your surname?
It is, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Unfortunately.
Thank God for that. Well, out at the moment, who's your driver of the race, Barry?
At the moment, I'm going to say James. I thought the strategy he made in qualifying, I thought was wrong, considering it was going to be a wet start, but it seems to be working out for him at the moment. His lane goes a bit wide, and he's going to be in DRS going down the pit straight. He might be able to take his lane.
0.4 of a second is the gap. Fastest lap. Jay Fletcher sets it. Will Hamilton respond again? He does. The gap down to 3 seconds. The gap's coming down ever so slowly. 0.2 a lap. And there's still 8 laps of this race to go. Jay Fletcher leads by 2.9. So Lane in third. But James now just half a second back from him. Softy is in P8. 5 seconds back from Dan in 7th. Watch out for those two. Softy is closing in quite nicely on Dan. So there'll be a scrap there shortly. But this is the fight to watch at the moment. Selene and James both looking for their first podiums of the season. James was P18 last time out. Selene only 7th, but I mean, I say only 7th. A fantastic result for him to start his season. The 7th position, he's going to improve that now with a P3 at the moment. Can he keep James back, the 6th-time champion? Selene, how is your bottle? Barry, if there's one driver behind you in TGP1, who do you want it not to be? Who's going to put you under most pressure out of any of the drivers in this league this season?
I'd say Jonas. I find Jonas quite a quick driver.
I think going by the race pace, I've got to say Jay Fletcher at the moment. In fact, Jay Fletcher has pulled 7/10 on Hamilton, so maybe Hamilton has made a mistake somewhere. He's lost a bit of time this lap, having gained on the previous 2 laps. Maybe he's saving his ears for the final part of the race.
James get a better exit. He's had a poor exit again in the last corner.
Well, Selene, for now, it's very similar to Verstappen and Raikkonen from 2016. A bad exit for James is allowing Selene to stay ahead. James will be reusing that ERS very wisely, trying to save it for the right moments of the track, but for now, it's down to 0.3 of a second. Surely now, James has his best chance to get through and take P3. John is behind, is closing up, so he needs to get through as soon as he can. In fact, Selene in front also on the medium tyres. John is himself on the medium tyres, so these 3 definitely going to the end of the race. What tyres have Fletcher and Hamilton gone on to? They have also gone the medium tyres. Only Martin and Softy have gone for softs, and Johnny and Josh with the super softs, but Josh having only been on them for 3 laps. So,
yeah, I think the soft tyre will make it to the end, but it'll be tired. But I can't see the super softs making it to the end.
I'll be very surprised if the super softs do make it to the end. There's still 7 laps of this race to go. We've got James, as you can see, hunting down Selene for P3. Jay Fletcher currently our race leader from WOME, also known as LMC Hamilton. But you can see John is joining in on the fight here for P3. Selene, James and John is now just a second and a half between them.
It's a better exit this time for James.
Can he get close enough? DRS, look at him use it. Surely now this is his best chance into turn 1.
He's got to go for it. He's got to go for it. He's going for it.
And he's taken him. James with a fantastic move takes P3.
Selene's going back on the inside.
Selene back up the inside, retakes it again. Fantastic racing from these 2. James now looking to take the position again. Will there be 3 changes of position in 3 corners? Selene.
James went wide.
Wow.
Watch out for Jonas. Jonas is only 9/10 behind.
What a scrap between these 2, and now Jonas is like, I want to join in. I want some TV time. Well, James will be happy to hear he's got the bonus point at the moment for Barry's driver of the race, which doesn't actually count for the championship, but it counts. I will do a little tie at the end of the season, so you get the most valuable in. Yeah, just something. But this is still the battle to watch. Hamilton has closed in again on Fletcher. 2.7 seconds now of the gap. Selene 10 seconds back in third, but starting to keep James behind. James looked like they got him into turn 1, but then Selene came straight back at him at turn 2. Up the inside to retake the position going into turn 3. Fantastic scrap here. Now Jonas himself is within DRS territory of James. So Jonas will be our championship leader as things stand, picking up another 10 points, which put him on 35. Jay Fletcher on 25.
Yeah, round 2.
Here we go.
For it.
Will it be the same story into turn 1? James brakes later.
Bit later on the brakes this time.
And he's taking a position. And Selene, can he fight back again? He's got to watch out for Jonas behind him. But I think this time James has made the move. Can Selene come straight back at him up the inside? He doesn't. He keeps hold of P3, does James, and now he'll look to pull away before Jonas himself makes a move. There's a Ferrari. Hamilton's had a problem.
Oh, it's Ruddy.
He's 12 seconds. Has he got a problem? Has he made a mistake? Has he lost a bit of front wing, maybe?
He must have spun.
And suddenly he's got front wing damage. He has front wing damage.
Hamilton,
disaster for the second race in a row. He's in P2. He's going to lose. They're going to pass him now. One by one. James into P2. Hamilton can't respond. He's got no front wing, and now he's going to drop position after position. Selene goes through for P3. Oh, and they make contact. Selene goes wide.
No.
Selene went for the move. I think he rushed it a bit, and unfortunately for him, with LMC Hamilton's front wing, LMC Hamilton had nowhere to go, and he's going to pit surely this time round for a new front wing. He does. And Jonas now will retake over P3. He can't believe it. He's just gained 2 places in 2 corners and about to take 15 championship points as things stand. James, though, into P2, and Dan the man, right on the back of Selene as well himself now. He's about to be passed by a second Alfa Romeo. Dan the man through into P5. Selene demoted to P6, and Softy behind in P7. We forgot about him, didn't we? Paul into P8. Hamilton pits and will drop down to the very near end of the grid. It's going to be P10 for him. Malden Man and LMC Josh completing the top 12. But disaster there for Selene. It was looking so good. LMC Hamilton, unfortunately for him, will not score many points here. But Softy now looking to get his way past Selene, who's dropped from 2nd to 6th. Or 3rd to 6th, sorry.
Yeah, both Sauber drivers have done great in this race. James is up 7 positions. Oh, there's a Force India. Jonas is off.
Jonas is having some issues himself, apparently, but we got Softy here on Selene looking to get the position. We'll go back to Jonas any second now.
Jonas has had a problem. His teammates all over the back of him.
The 2 Force Indias are scrapping for the 2nd race in a row. We've got all sorts of battles happening now. Softy on Selene, Selene on Dan, Martin on James. It's all happening. We don't know which one to fight. We'll go with this one for now because it's P3 and P4, the battle for the podium. Can Martin take points off his teammate, off the championship leader? The 2 Force Indias side by side. Going into turn 1, Martin is temporarily ahead, and he stays ahead. He's taken P3. On the soft tyres though, so will they get to the end of the race? And in the background, Softy, indeed, on Selene, side by side, and has taken P6 from him. The Williams driver is down to P7. And now he himself can look to catch Dan the man ahead. Currently P5. I said it'll be close to watch these two at the end. Indeed it will be, but John is down to P4. An issue then of some sorts for the championship leader. Drops himself to P4, loses himself 3 points by Martin getting through. There are no team orders at Force India yet as Owen continues to send me Snapchat videos. Owen, clearly there's a race still happening. Pipe down. Wow, Barry, what do you make of the Jordan and Hamilton incident? Do you think Jordan just broke a little too late going into that corner? Zanti, Josh is getting out of the way, lapped car.
I only caught the back end of it. I just so I can't really comment.
Looked like to me that Selene broke a little bit too late. Didn't realise that Hamilton had the front wing damage, and unfortunately because of that, spun himself round. He dropped back down.
Going in that fast chicane, it's not really a overtaking opportunity as well.
Softy is already on the back of Dan the man, looking to take P5. The Red Bull driver wants those points. Currently 6th, looking to get a position gain. 2 more points in the championship. Softy, I think, is going to take it around the outside. Is he going to go around the outside all the way? It's very close between these two. Dan the man getting very close, but there's no contact, just almost. And Softy is into P5, but again on the softer tyre, so will they fade off in the closing 2 laps? Dan the man 6th. Selene 7th. Paul now in 8th. Johnny and Malden completing the top 10. Owen has again sent me a Snapchat, Barry. What have you got to say about that? It's like he's distracting me.
Yeah, I think he's bored because he's out of the race.
Yeah, fair play to him. Hasn't made it past lap 3, unfortunately, Owen. As we can see, the Top 3 looking good to get their podiums. Martin, James and Jay. In fact, Martin will take a second podium, which will put him on 30 points in the championship. John is taking 12, will be on 37. So Martin himself will just be 7 points back as things stand.
Fletcher setting another fastest lap.
Fletcher, a fantastic race from him, really. 16-second lead. If we're going for driver of the day, it's hard to look past him. The McLaren driver has converted pole with just 1 lap to go now, has a 16-second lead in changeable conditions, having to pit from Inters, making the call, the first to make the call as well. He made it, and he got it bang on, and he stayed in P1. Fantastic decision from him. Tough to make in these conditions, especially when it looks like it's too wet, but he made the right one. The rest behind followed him in, and he did give himself the 25 points because of it. If he can get to the end, 1 lap to go. But James also P2 from where he started on the grid is absolutely fantastic. Martin P3, Jonas will be content with P4 as things stand. He could still get the position back, he's less than a second behind his teammate. But Solain, currently the closest battle on track is Solain catching Dan for P6 and P7. An extra 2 points, the reward. Shea Fletcher starts his final lap of the race.
Force India, I think, should keep it as it is now, bring the points home. It's you know, 3rd and 4th. It's a good haul of points to extend the gap in the constructors.
Indeed. Of course, let's not forget that Matt and Phil join us next week. They're back, having missed the first week of the season, and Matt and Phil are 2 title contenders. Matt having won 3 of the last 5 races last season, so he's going to join in this almighty scrap with goal already, as you can see. Is that a Torosso? Is that LMC Josh? Or is that it's Paul? Indeed, it's Paul. Sorry, it's Paul.
It's Paul.
Looking to get Solain's P7. He wants it. It's going to be a last lap fight for P6, 7 and 8. Dan, Solain and Paul, as Martin is being overtaken by Jonas. Jonas has taken P3. Championship leader, unseen by us, has gone through and taken 3rd position, the final spot on the podium, as LMC Josh takes the fastest lap, but there's no bonus point for that. Only a point for Barry Baldwin's driver of the day, which I believe is going to James as things stand. But Paul, P8, got a fantastic start thanks to a jump start, dropped back, made the call to pit for dries, and is now looking to get some good points. Of course, having put on 18 in the first race, Paul is very much a title contender, so to take points now will be fantastic for him, as we can see Solain going into the gravel. Paul with DRS, can he get through? Unfortunately for him, Solain also has helping a DRS as Fletcher has won the race. We've missed it because we're sticking with this great battle, but Fletcher, fantastic from him. 25 points, his first win in the league. What a drive. Fantastic from the McLaren driver, as James will take 2nd position. And then Martin and John is fighting for P3 and P4. Jonas goes wide for the final corner. He's going to get, I think, just about. James just takes, look at that, less than a 1/10 of a second.
Oh, there's no team orders in that team.
Martin almost pinched the final podium spot of his own teammate. Wow, what another good race that was. Changeable conditions in Spain, but Jay Fletcher, the driver that comes out on top. James 2nd, Jonas just about holding on to P3 from his teammate. Softy does come home 5th in the end, so 10 more points to his 12 he scored in the last round. Dan 6th, Solain is 7th, and Paul, Johnny and Maldenman completing the top 10. Wow, Barry, what a race. What do you make of that one?
Another cracking race. Changeable conditions, drivers pitting. Well, what we thought at a lap too early, but it was the right time. But yeah, driver of the day for me has got to be James.
James, fantastic to finish P2 from where he started on the grid, to finish 2nd and take 18 points. There's a reason why he finished 2nd in the championship last season. His race pace is absolutely fantastic. Normally nails the strategy, and he's done it once again to take 18 points. His first point of the season, having unfortunately crashed out in the first race in Germany. But it's a good way to start his title defence. But Jonas will be our championship leader on 40 points, and reigning champion Softy has just over half of that, 22. So Jonas continuing his great form that he's been carrying over from TGB cars. But today in Spain, it's Jay Fletcher that takes the race win. Our first race win in the series. He'll be happy with that. Barry, what a performance from him.
Yeah, faultless really. You know, got the pole, got away well in the damp conditions at the start, pitted at the right time, and that was it. Wummy was in the Ferrari catching him, and then he had his offs got damaged, and then there we are. James from P9 on the grid gets second. I will just point out quickly, Martin, a good result for him in the Force India from 11th on the grid as well.
Indeed. So what a race it's been. What a night in TGP1. John is then is your championship leader. It's been a while since we've said that after the opening week. Join us next week for Italy, Hungary and Bahrain. From me, it's goodbye, and from Barry, also goodbye. See you next week.